What's going on, guys? WhiteFox1225 here with my first impressions of the new Dark Brotherhood DLC for the Elder Scrolls Online. Got to play this for a few hours. I stayed up all night and then I realized the patch wasn't even coming out till about 12 this morning. So then I had to go back to bed, woke up, and got to play it for like 5 hours. And I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on it so far. This isn't a full review. I'll do a full review a little bit later in the week, but this is just my first impressions and how I feel about it so far. The questline definitely seems like the quality we expect from the game. The characters are really good as usual. The writing team is definitely the best in the business, so the characters are really realistic and really great. And it definitely has that Dark Brotherhood vibe, creepiness. The new music is really creepy. The voice acting is really well done. The new sanctuary is everything I hoped it'd be. It really just has that Dark Brotherhood feel, and it's true to the Dark Brotherhood. I was a little afraid that the Elder Scrolls Online would try to make the Dark Brotherhood something it's not, because just being a group of murderers is too dark for the game. But they definitely didn't stray away from it. You're gonna be killing innocents, and you're just gonna be murdering people, which is really cool to see that finally come into the game. Other than that, all the Dark Brotherhood lore is there. The Sithis, the Listener, the Black Sacrament, all of that stuff. That's some of my favorite lore in the whole series. I know a lot of people really like it too. And that's all returning. It's really true, and it's just a great Dark Brotherhood questline so far. The quests are set up really good. It's a nice mix of stealth and some boss fights, some more straightforward fights, just killing NPCs, and that's really cool, but there are some of those cinematic takedowns, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So I think they did a good mix of the stealth and the, just straight out fights that we know from the other DLCs. It does have all the mechanics from the Thieves Guild come into this, so there is still that stealth mechanics of avoiding traps, avoiding people, and executing people, which is cool to see, but also then you're going to get into those boss fights, which is always good for people who just like straight up combat. Definitely my favorite thing about the DLC right now is the Blade of Woe. It's just so awesome to use. When you first start the Dark Brotherhood, they're going to give it to you, and what it lets you do is sneak up from behind people and perform executions. You're just going to grab them, slit their throat, stab them in the face, stab them in the stomach. It's really cinematic. You just kind of watch. It's like a kill cam almost. It's really bloody and it's really brutal. Reminds me a little bit of the Doom takedowns, but it made ESO feel like a stealth game, and it just added a whole new mechanic to the game, which is what I liked about the Thieves Guild, and it's cool to see them keep going and changing the combat a little bit. Not only can you use this in the Dark Brotherhood questline, but you can also use it on NPCs all around the world, so it just adds another layer to the gameplay, and for stealth fans like myself, it's just a really cool addition, and it makes the Dark Brotherhood really fun to play, because if you're assassinating people, it shouldn't just feel like I'm shooting them with my abilities over and over again. It should feel like I'm actually assassinating someone and slitting their throat, and then that's what the Blade of Woe lets you do in the DLC, and it's a really great addition. The other thing I really love about the DLC is being back in Cyrodiil. Cyrodiil was an ESO, but it was the PvP area, and it wasn't that fleshed out. It didn't have that Oblivion feel to it. This DLC definitely captures some of that. The landscape is really, similar to Oblivion. It's cool to see Kvatch not destroyed and actually intact. On top of that, there are some new enemies around the zone. The one I noticed the most was the Minotaur. They have some new attacks as well. They're not just reskinned. And it's cool to see them just update the zone and bring all new stuff to it, like new enemies and new architecture and everything like that. If you played Oblivion and you liked it, this will definitely bring back some of that nostalgia, and that's what it's doing for me right now. That's all the positive things I have to say. Just moving on to a few negatives, just some things I noticed, and they're not really big complaints because they can all be fixed, but there's a couple bugs I noticed. First off, some of my attacks aren't registering, especially my ultimate. Sometimes I have to hit that 10 times before it works. Other than that, I'm getting some frame rate drops around the zone, especially when I do some executions with the Blade of Woe. I'm sure they can fix that, but you can probably see in the gameplay I'm getting some drops. Other than that, the assassin personality isn't quite working right. Sometimes I'm not holding the blade and I'm doing the animation. All of these can be fixed really easily, so hopefully they'll just get updated in a patch, but I figured they were worth a mention. Another thing I want to mention real quick is all your champion points will be reset, so I didn't realize that at first, so make sure you reset those, otherwise you're going to get killed pretty quickly and not know why. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. We'll have a full review later this week with a lot more on the poison making, veteran rank removal, and all the new systems and stuff, so keep an eye out for that. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you guys have any comments, leave them down below. Let me know how you guys feel about the DLC so far. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.